patient's needs and budget. Depending on the treatment, insurance may cover some or even all of your program. Call Dr. Filippini at 925-999-4067 to get in on his $39 exam special, or visit DanvilleDiscDoctor.com for more information. That's 925-999-4067 or DanvilleDiscDoctor.com.
Join Hala Taha for actionable advice from the brightest minds in the world on the Young and Profiting Podcast. Author and academic Arthur Brooks on what success is.
The husband was confessing to his wife that he might as well be dead. And I'm thinking, whoa, what's wrong with this guy? I turn around to get a look, and it turns out to be one of the most famous men in the world. The world tells you that if you are profiting, money, power, pleasure, fame, you're going to be happy. And that's a bogus formula.
The Young and Profiting Podcast, wherever you listen.
Papa, why can't we telegraph while riding a horse? Son, there ain't no one to blame but Jeffro. He was riding old Bessie the Stallion, tip-tapping away at his telegraph, when blam, ran right into the side of the saloon. Well, if Jeffro can't do it, neither should you. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council. Social distancing slows the spread of coronavirus, so if you have a fever, dry cough, and shortness of breath, call your healthcare provider before going in. More info at coronavirus.gov. Let's all do our part, because we're all #AloneTogether. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
KSFO's Dan Bongino's a smart guy, but this has him stumped.
I genuinely can't understand how this guy in the White House has an approval rating higher than, say, 25%. Who are the 4 out of 10 people who are like, yeah, man, this guy's great. He's knocking it out of the park. Fentanyl killing hundreds of thousands of kids, illegals flooding across the border, inflation we haven't seen in 40 years. I really don't understand. Who the hell are these 4 and 10 people?
Bongino, 9 to noon on your radio and smart speaker at 560 KSFO. Did they get the name wrong?
It's not the Inflation Reduction Act. It's the raised taxes on the poor, middle class, and people on fixed income act.
I'm sorry for any misconceptions. Get clarity with Hannity, noon to 3 on your radio and smart speaker at 560 KSFO. With the Love's Express card, you save up to 14 cents per gallon, $25 on tire purchases, and even more on service costs. Go to loves.com/diesel discount. Loves.com/diesel discount.
If your credit card bills have gotten out of hand, call Consolidated Credit now. If you're making the minimum payments, but your balance is just not going down, call Consolidated Credit now. If the interest rates on your credit cards are so high, it will take years to get out of debt. Call Consolidated Credit now. They've helped over 5 million people. They can consolidate your debts into one lower payment, reduce your interest rates, and get you out of debt fast. If you're struggling with credit card debt, call Consolidated Credit now.
Call now, 800-552-6750. That's 800-552-6750. 800-552-6750.
Consolidated Credit Counseling Services Incorporated, 5701 West Sunrise Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 33313. Not a loan company licensed by the New York Department of Financial Services or by the Vermont Department of Financial Regulation. Maryland DM19, Oregon DM80031. Licensed by Virginia State Corporation. Commission license number DC32. Establishment of a plan may adversely affect the individual's credit rating or credit score. Non-payment of debt may be creditors to increase financial charges or collections activity, including litigation.
Red Eye Radio and our sponsors are devoted to trucking safety. That's why we are proud to bring you the Red Eye Radio Million Mile Club. We've been saluting drivers who have surpassed the million-mile mark with preventable accident-free driving. By reaching this milestone, you can be a part of an elite club of drivers who share remarkable safety records and demonstrate superior driving skills. If you or someone you know is a truck driver with 1 million miles or more of driving under your belt without a preventable accident, register online at RedEyeRadioshow.com. That's RedEyeRadioshow.com. The Red Eye Radio Million Mile Club would not be possible without the generous support of the fine folks from Petro Stopping Centers, House Lubricator, Motel 6, the St. Christopher Fund, and Cat Scale. We applaud the individual truckers and fleets who drive with care and keep our highways safe. The Red Eye Radio Million Mile Club, devoted to trucking safety. Register online at RedEyeRadioshow.com.
And Eric Harley on Red Eye Radio.
And he's Eric Harley, and I'm Gary McNamara, 86690 Red Eye. So that snowstorm's supposed to really start hitting the Buffalo, New York area.
You were telling me they were already announcing road closure?
I-90 from Rochester all the way down to the Pennsylvania state line will be closed to commercial traffic at 4 p.m. tomorrow.
That would be 4 p.m. Thursday.
I'm sorry,
Thursday or Friday?
4 p.m. today.
Okay. Wow, 4 p.m. Thursday.
So commercial traffic,
Yeah.
whatever. And
Yeah.
so that doesn't happen very often. That you have, and that was yesterday. So we're talking about a full 24 hours before there, you know, and I guess this is from the experience over the years of having massive traffic jams.
But
Because when the lake effect snow hits, you get 5 inches an hour, and all of a sudden you have a highway that 2 hours not, you know, for the most part not passable. Plows can't get down.
Oh man, there was a situation several years ago on I-80 in Pennsylvania, and it was already, you know, it was a forecast myth, the myth rather that basically had ice mixed in with, you know, that I don't think they were expecting that kind of accumulation, and it just became an ice. And you had a ton of big rigs on that interstate, and so I could understand that. So truckers, be aware. 4 p.m. On Thursday, and that's I-90 between.
From what I saw, Rochester and Pennsylvania.
Okay.
About 140 mile. Wow. 140 mile section. Well, and the thing is, they're still, I mean, they know this. No matter what, the snow's coming.
Yeah.
They just don't know. You know, they don't know exactly. You know, who's going to get the worst of it.
Right.
But they know it's going to hit. You know, big time, because the storm's coming from the more of the not westerly. Because if it comes westerly over Lake Erie, as we mentioned yesterday, if people don't understand, it's lake effect snow off of Lake Erie.
Yeah.
And what happens is if Lake Erie, if the water is warm and you have really cold Arctic air, well then you know what happens.
Mm-hmm.
The water goes right up, absorbs right into the clouds, drops it right at the next land area. It's that simple. Lake effect snow picks up the moisture from a warm lake. Lake Erie is extremely warm for this time of the year. Now, if it freezes, you don't have lake effect snow. Right, it's not frozen. That's the problem. So it's just one of those times when normally it's coming more westerly. So if it's coming more west to east, the wind, then it normally blows up there. Then what you would get is, because of where Buffalo is located, they don't really get hit. It's the southbound that gets hit. It's the ski area. It's what they call the snow belt area of New York, that the majority of it's coming westerly. So you're talking about Orchard Park and south, where the stadium is, the Village Stadium, and then south, where you get into, on Route 5 down Dunkirk, Fredonia, Ellicottville, where Allegheny State Park is, all that, which is much more of a rural area, but it's the ski area that's down there, all the ski resorts, because that's where the Boston Hills and the Allegheny Mountains start, and so it's much more of they're like, yeah, let's get it. Right. And they're only expected to get less than a foot. But you see, my dad, they're still talking about it could be 3 feet, 4 feet, 5 feet. Some places maybe, depending how long the wind stays in one particular direction, is where again the snow bands will be. And it's amazing if you've ever seen some of the pictures. Some of the most distinct snow bands I have ever seen in my life are those lake effect snows that come off of Lake Erie.